Good morning, fellow Minecrafters. My name's Chance, and today we're taking on Luke the Notable's challenge of surviving 100 days in hardcore Minecraft, but we're doing it on Amplified, which means bigger, badder world generation, which means more mobs spawning during the day and the higher chance of us falling to our deaths. Remember, if you enjoy, leave a thumbs up, subscribe, and smash the bell icon. But enough with introductions, it's time to survive. Day 1, pretty standard. We got tools, slayed sheep, and found a village, but those pickle-nosed fools tried to sell me some stone for an emerald. But I don't play by those games, so I took their pumpkin and wheat. Take that, you Scrooge. Day 2, as I was gathering more resources... Day 2, as I was gathering more resources from the village, I noticed the mountain that would be my house. And so, with haste, I gathered up my materials and ran over there. Of course, we're on Amplified, so this was a mountain, and so I started climbing. And in case you're wondering if this is going to be one of those sentimental playthroughs, the answer is no. I don't care about wooden tools, they're garbage. By the end of day 2, we had reached about halfway up the mountain, and I was happy. We hadn't died yet, which is longer than I could say for any of my other hardcore worlds. Day 3, more climbing for me, but I made it to the top, so it was victory. Also, I cleared some dirt, so that was cool. Also, somewhere along the way, I decided I would record every night of me hopping into bed, so you can enjoy that. Day 4, I made it to the top of the Sky Island, or that's what I was going to be calling my base from now on, as well as a floating island. Anyways, we got it looking nifty, and then I decided it was time to head back down the big mountain that we had just climbed. Everything was going fine, of course, until I forgot that we were playing on Amplified and mobs could still spawn during the day, and then I took a skeleton shot to the back of the head. Of course, this nearly made me crap my pants. So I panicked, ran, and, well, getting home obviously wasn't going to be an option anymore, so I did the only thing that any Minecrafter would do, and I jumped off the side. Of course, I was immediately met with a drowned and realized now why they called it hardcore. First 4 days had been, well, very hard. Day 5 and I'm still alive. Alright, it's time to mine. Also, we ended up finding several supplies. Coal, iron, gold, you know the normal. And let's not forget diamond. After a little bit more mining, I decided to call it a day. I mean, after all, it was only day 5 and I'd already found 3 diamonds, which was enough for a pickaxe. There's also some other materials, but I decided it was enough mining and time to exit. But it was late when I exited, so we slept. Day 7, we grabbed 2 buckets of water and returned home, despite this cow's attitude. We also grabbed some wood and, well, reviewed our first week, because we had survived and we'd done a lot of stuff. Grabbed diamonds, found a village, and settled our house. Day 8, we built a water elevator down so I wouldn't have to keep scaling the side of this mountain and potentially dying. Of course, this was dangerous in and of itself as I almost fell off. I also forgot that boats don't necessarily float to the top in Minecraft 1.16, and so that was kind of a failed attempt. The elevator also struck too closely to the island underneath my island, and so we had a lot of mobs that could actually get into it, which was a little scary. But it was back to my sweet soft bed for safety for now. Day 9, I decided it was time to deal with the massive amount of mobs that were spawning beneath my house, so I played a little game called Lure the Creepy Man into my wet hole and watch him explode. Of course, not all of them wanted it directly on my face, some of them shot from range, but it's okay, because I'm used to taking multiple loads at once. After all the mobs were dealt with, I lit up the whole place so no more could spawn, and I hopped back up top. Victory at last. Day 10, and I was building again. Also captured cows in this little pen. It's amazing how much you can get done whenever you're writing down everything with paper and pen. Dear diary, day 10 anyways, we had our first domesticated animals, and so we called it a day. Day 11, and today we cleared the area where we had recently slain all those mobs. I hear their bodies made for great fertilizer. Anyways, I was going to build a farm down here, that way I could keep myself fed and my villagers breeding later on. Also, I started a new game while going up the elevator trying to kill the fish in the elevator. I was pretty bad, but that's alright. Day 12, and I was putting things in holes and it felt good. Also, we started a sugarcane farm as I was going to need paper later on for bookshelves. After that, we called it a day. Day 13, and we crafted our first diamond pickaxe. We were going back down in the mine shaft to try and finish up getting diamonds so we could make armor and all of that cool stuff, so we wouldn't die, because obviously this is hardcore and you need all that special stuff. Anyways, on my way down there, or rather when I got all the way down there, I realized I didn't have a bed, so it was back home. And of course, by the time I got back home, it was time for sleeping. Day 14, and it was back to the mines for real this time, and we were greeted with nothing but hostility. There was 2 skeletons, then 2 creepers, then an army of silverfish. If that wasn't enough, as I was dealing with the silverfish, a creeper blew up behind me. I thought for sure I'd wasted 2 weeks of Minecraft time, but your boy made it out alive. I decided it was time to go back to safe mining and basically just digging straight down in a hole. Am I right? Day 15, and we were strip mining for diamonds, which is ironic because we ended up finding majority of them in caves. Just goes to show you what happens when you shed a little light in your life. We finished the day with a little bit more resource gathering and exiting the mine shaft. It was nighttime, of course, so I decided to go ahead and sleep right here on my ledge. Day 16, and I'd found a traveling merchant in our house, but it was a little unfortunate as when I went to trade with him, I pushed the llama into him and he fell off the cliff. Then when I went to get the lead that he had dropped, I pushed the llama off too. Of course, this only left 1 llama, and I felt a little bad, so I allowed him to join his friends at the bottom of the cliff. After this, we returned to the village. I had a few things I wanted to discuss with these cheapos. Took all day negotiating trade, so I decided to sleep there for the night. Day 17, I lured all the villagers back into their homes, then locked them there. If they're going to charge me out the wazoo for goods, then I was going to turn them all into zombies and show them what a hero I was. After this, I returned home and made my first diamond sword. I was tired of being merciful on the mobs and decided 3 hits was too many. You can tell this made me happy as I skipped my way to bed. Day 18, I renovated the house and added in this nifty little staircase. I also decided it was time for us to block our ways over... oh, jeez. I also decided it was time to block our way over to another one of these mountaintops. So, like any good Minecrafter, I turned around, squatted down, and crossed my fingers my pinky wouldn't give out. Day 19, and I made it over to the other mountaintop. This was going to be extremely useful as I could use it for a vantage point to see, well, pretty much everything I couldn't see from my mountaintop. Also, we found a broken nether portal, and this was going to prove useful in the future as it would allow me to get from my house all the way down there in a matter of minutes. And that's pretty much all I did for the day. Just looked around and enjoyed the fact that I wasn't dying. Day 20, and we were renovating the house again. I wanted to look a little bit better as by most day 20s, people already had walls and a roof and a fully functioning house. Of course, I use slabs because I'm cheap in Minecraft just like real life. Just ask my fiance. Day 21, I gathered kelp as I would need it later for building a super fast elevator to take me straight up to my house, so all this swimming would be unnecessary. Also, I stole a bell from the village as a sign of domination, because I own these fools. Day 22 through 26, I pretty much spent down in the mines looking for diamonds. I wanted enough for a full set of gear, as well as, tools and all that kind of nifty stuff. And let's not forget the enchanting table I would need as well, so I could enchant it and make myself basically unkillable. I ended up finding a total of 18 diamonds while I was down there, also fighting a couple of creepers and other ghoulies, let's not forget silverfish. But I made it out alive and with a lot of loot. This would help later on for all kinds of adventures, including working with redstone and capturing the villagers, paying for stuff. Yeah, I'll know the general rundown. Anyways, by day 27, we had exited the mines. It was time to return home and use all of our loot for good stuff, like building an enchanting area. Day 28, I started gathering the material I would need for my nether area. I figured since it was going to be a portal to hell, it only made sense to put it on an ice-cool igloo platform. Igloo platform? Or snow platform? You know, it was frozen and it was fiery, so it was juxtaposition. Anyways, day 29. I pretty much spent the whole day building up my nether area as, well, I'm not great with design, and essentially what I got is this little igloo castle thing. I made it entirely out of snow blocks and it didn't melt the whole thing down. Pretty much took me all day, and so I just climbed into bed after that. Day 30, I tended to the cows. You didn't think I'd forgotten about them, did you? I needed all their leather if I was going to make a big old bookcase shelf thing around my enchanting table, and of course I was going to because I wanted the best enchantments the game could give me. I also checked back in on the villagers as I wanted them breeding it up. That way later on I could have as many as I wanted to fill my whole town full of people to sell me stuff for essentially really dirt cheap. Day 31. I started work on another farm. I figured twice the farm, twice the goods returned, and then twice the money, so I could be twice as fed and twice as happy. You know, I'm really big fan of 2. Day 32 through 34, I realized I was 1 diamond short of being able to make all of my gear plus the enchanting table. Oh man, that really sucked. So I decided to return down to the mines and, well, look for that 1 diamond. Coincidentally enough, that's exactly how much I found, was just 1 diamond. So no jukebox for us. Well, that's fun. Finally, it was time to return home. We were a third of the way done, and I wanted to get on a full set of gear so I could mark something as an accomplishment. Also, we had big plans of going to the Nether soon, so I needed to get ready. Day 35, and into the Nether we dive. But we weren't there long as, well, I got a little scared. We did build a base and gathered some Nether quartz, but those those piggies make some scary sounds, and being shot at by a baby screaming isn't necessarily the most comforting thing in the world. Day 36, and it was back to some lighthearted renovations, as well I'd had enough adventure for one lifetime. Also, I wanted to expand my farming. Whoever said size doesn't matter was a liar. 3 times as many farms means 3 times as many stonks. Day 37 through 38, and I returned to the village to set up some more breeding. I wanted them to, multiply before I tried to ship them over to my island, as, well, I didn't want any of them to die in the process, then I have to go find a whole new village, as I wasn't really good at this stuff. So I wanted to get them adding before I subtracted, right? Day 39, and I captured sheep by the village. I decided one day I'd want carpet in my house to keep my toesies from getting cold when I first woke up. After that, we returned home and called it a day. Day 40, we went to the Nether. I decided we were going to try and trade with some of the scary pigmen. I heard they could give you some really cool stuff if you give them gold, just like real people. Also, I wanted to find some soul sand. I started having to swim up my water elevator and decided it was time for some jet propulsion. Unfortunately, I got shot at, scared to death, and so I decided it was time to leave this place for almost ever. That's not true, we'll be back later. Day 41, I decided I'd work on a little breeding area for the villagers. I wanted to set up full shops and everything for them, so I cleared out this little area beneath my waterfall base thing. It was going to be cool, trust me, but I didn't really understand redstone, so it's time to dive into some learning. Day 42, we got to work on a boat ramp that I would use to import the villagers from the water into, well, the chamber, as we'll call it. Also, I was getting extremely good at killing the fishes? Like killing the fish as I rode up my elevator. Day 43, we were still working on the boat ramp. As well, as I said before, I was really bad with redstone, but don't worry, we got it working, and so now it's fully functioning boat ramp importer of villagers. AKA, it's just a redstone system with pistons that pushes me upwards as I come over it with my boat. Day 44, and it's time to move the villagers over. This consisted of me luring them into my boat with promises of riches, then shipping them across the sea to work in my encampment. Haha, you fools. Day 45, I started building the shop area where eventually I would lock these villagers in where they could never leave, move, or really do anything other than praise me and sell me stuff. It was a great setup, trust me. By day 46, we had our first encampment baby, and that's what I'm talking about. But after the baby came out and looked like neither of the parents, I got real questionable. This was a real Mary and Joseph situation. One minute there's no baby, and next thing, poof, one that doesn't look like either of them. Day 47, I decided to take a break from the villagers. Not gonna lie, they'd started annoying me. So we made a trip over to that destroyed portal that I'd seen a long time ago from the other island. This was actually going to be pretty fun as, well, it allows to link up the Nether portal, and I wouldn't have to run all the way down here later on. Day 48, I took this new Nether portal in and decided to look for some more soul sand. I still hadn't found any last time, and I really wanted to upgrade my elevator in my house. Also, I found my original portal, which actually wasn't that far away, so I sort of linked up a little pathway and made it a super easy trip from my new portal to my old one. So now I can get from the top of my mountain to the base all the way over to a, completely new biome in a matter of seconds instead of taking me 10 minutes and getting lost. Anyways, by day 49, I had gathered all I wanted and decided to exit the Nether. We were coming up on day 50, and that was exciting. Halfway done, and I'd accomplished a lot. Or, well, in my mind, I'd accomplished a lot. But I still wanted to get a few more things done. I needed to find a swamp biome, so that way I could kill some slime, so I could get a sticky piston. I don't know, I just wanted it for building stuff, not gonna lie. Day 50, we headed to the swamp area, and I decided it was time for us to build a slime spawning area. But as I didn't know a whole lot about this, I built a very rudimentary mob spawner that ended up not working all that well, and took me a couple days to realize it, but more on that later. Once we ran out of supplies, it was time to return home. 50 days have come and passed in hardcore Minecraft, and I was still alive. My house, well, it didn't have walls or a roof. My villagers didn't sell the best equipment, and of course I didn't have netherite armor, but we were alive, we were well, and we were making progress, and that's all that really mattered. For a full recap, well, I mean, you can pretty much see everything we've done here. It's pretty cool. If you've been enjoying the video, please be sure to leave a like down below, subscribe, and comment on what your favorite day so far has been. I'll be asking you again at the end of the 100 days, so make sure you're keeping track of it. We spent most of day 51 lost. I can't really help it. I couldn't find my way to the slime biome, but we saw some pretty cool stuff along the way, and by the end of it I managed to find my way back to my second portal, which was nice because it was a familiar place to sleep. We spent most of day 52 rebuilding our slime area. I figured a large flat platform would be best, as I knew they would spawn beneath a certain level of the Z or Y coordinate, you know, one of the height level, and a low enough light level. So I just built a big flat platform and, well, basically hoisted myself up into the sky. Day 53, I spent looking for more ways to improve the slime farm. I wanted more slimes because, let's be real, I still hadn't gotten too many, and I wanted more. So I stayed up through the entire night looking for, well, slimes to spawn. Day 54, I returned home and accepted failure. Well, if I couldn't get them to spawn, then screw it, I'm going home. I already had the villagers, which was the whole reason why I wanted the slime in the first place, because I thought I needed it in order to get my villagers where I wanted them, but I didn't, so long story short, it was wasted in the end. I returned home and tried to feed my villagers, but they decided they didn't want to breed either, so this was 2 failures back to back, and I decided this made me angry, and I wanted to go break stuff.
You want a snowball or something?
Day 55, more working with the villagers. I really wanted them to spawn a baby. I'm not gonna lie, I didn't understand how I got the first one to work, but now I can't get more. It's like I can do it and I can't. I don't know. I kept breaking the system. Anyways, after all day of dealing with villagers, I decided I was done dealing with these little peasants, and it was time for me to return home to my throne, fit for a king. Day 56 to 59, I worked on my mob farm. This thing was going to be giant and glorious and floating right above my lake, so hopefully it would decrease the amount of mobs spawning around me as I stood above it. I wanted it to be really efficient and drop the mobs down so they'd be basically half a heart or 1 hit away from death. Not gonna lie, this did scare me a little bit, but as we were building it over a big lake, I could fall at free will and it wouldn't really hurt me or anything. Right? That's not foreshadowing. Day 60, I finished the mob farm. Success feels good after a whole lot of failure within this series, but again, whenever you're new to something, you can expect a lot of failures, but I'm not one to give up easy. So again, success, hey! Day 61, I built a water elevator. I wanted a quick way to get up and down from my mob farm. I don't know why it felt more important than the one to my actual base. It just did to me, you know, I speed in the middle of the sky. I really wanted stuff to start looking nice. I realize now that we're coming to the end of our series as we're over halfway done, and, well, nothing really looked aesthetically pleasing to me, so we needed to work on that. Day 62, I worked on the pathway over to the elevator. I didn't want to fall and die trying to, you know, go kill my mob farm stuff. That just felt a little too ironic for me. And don't get me wrong, I love irony. Anyways, I also finished my enchanting area and enchanted all my stuff. Well, I'll say all my stuff. I enchanted the important stuff as I wanted to protect my nether regions. I felt pretty good about having all this stuff. Now if a villager stepped out of line, I could spank his cheeks right back. Wouldn't even be hard. Day 63, I was determined to get mending out of one of my villagers. I'm not gonna lie, this was pretty important to me. I'm not the kind of guy that likes building multiple sets of diamond armor, diamond tools. I just like to get one, set it up to be really good, and then keep it for forever. I know I said I wasn't sentimental, but this is different. This is efficiency. However, it ended up taking me all day. That's right, all day. Whole Minecraft day to get one mending shop. But I'm sure y'all know how it goes. Day 64, we bought mending. Time to equip it. What's the most important thing I have? My pickaxe, of course. Day 65, the time had finally come. I'd killed enough fish and, well, let's be real, that game was getting a little boring. So I built a main... Oh, this is hard. Day 65, I built a water elevator in my house. It was finally time for the main one to come up. All the fishes had suffered enough, and so I decided we wanted a quick way from the bottom to the top. That's what I'm talking about, just like a dolphin or a merman. Day 66, I decided my mob farm wasn't working as well as I wanted it to, so I tried to build my way over to the little island across from my farm and light it all up, but this was very, very dangerous. Day 67, back to lighting up the other mountain. I almost died, not gonna lie, don't know exactly what happened, but it was scary, I assure you. And I made it out, because I'm a hero. Day 68, we cleared the tree farm. I'm not gonna lie, I had something planned. It was big, it was gonna be explosive for the following day. I hear it's a villager holiday or something. Day 69! Day 69, I set up a bunch of TNT. I wanted a big climax today, if you know what I mean. Day 70, I really wanted to destroy this other island. I decided that lighting it up from down below was just taking too long. So if I break the blocks above, I can do it safely, quote unquote, and, well, efficiently, or so I thought, and then I realized it was a big mountain, and so I kind of gave up. Day 71, the rhymes had begun. Also, I returned to the slime farm to have some fun. Day 72, I was feeling blue, but I found some slime, so woohoo! Day 73, back home for me. I was working on the slime farm for victory. Day 74, I installed a glass floor. This way I could see a little bit more. Day 75, and I'm still alive. Alright, I got my second mending book. Can I get a high five? Wait a minute, 5 and 5 don't rhyme. Day 76, I was planting sticks. Also, I decided to go hit some stuff. Day 77, I was in heaven, or no, wait, this isn't heaven. Oh no, this is scary down here. I wish I had a pet named Kevin. Day 78, I couldn't be late. I had to get to another fortress for a really hot date. Get it? Because the blazes, they're hot. Day 79, am I out of my mind? That's a lot of blazes, but I'll be fun. Day 80 and the rhymes were done. Let's be real, I'm not Slim Shady, son. Day 81 through 86 we spent gathering materials. I had big plans for the last 10 days, and let's be real, I didn't want to die, so I figured spending it above ground was the safest option. We managed to gather up a whole lot of materials, ranging from wood to diorite to sand for glass. My final project was going to be awesome, let's just put it at that. Day 87, I made this cool concrete builder on top of my mob farmer. That way I could also farm experience. So, you know, 2 birds, 1 stone kind of thing. It actually worked out pretty well, and it was a fun game while it lasted. Also, I almost died. So, you know, there's that. You know, day 87 day, 13 days left, and we almost just fell to our death. Nothing big, just casual. Day 88 through 89, I spent gathering more wood and leaves. I was going to build something pretty elegant, and I needed this stuff as a complementary plot. I'm sure those builders out there understand. Day 90, it's time to build. What are we building? Well, my house. 90 days have gone by in Minecraft, and I haven't, well, built up a single wall to my house. I just have a flat surface on top of a really, really high up mountain. So I figured it was time for us to do just that. Day 91, I got to work on the front porch as well as the elevator going up. This was going to be fancy, so I wanted one side to be colored one thing, blue going down and red going up. It just kind of made sense to me, I don't know. Day 92, I finished the elevators. Don't they look spiffy? And I even have doors for them. It's glass all the way up and down so I can fully enjoy the surroundings as I ride on my fancy elevator. Day 93, I went gathering for more glass. Does that make sense? Day 93, I went to gather more glass. I realized I had ran out in building my 20 block high elevator made entirely of glass. Who would have thought it took so much? Whatever. Anyways, on my adventure over there, I found a cat. Congratulations, my dream came true. I could finally have a pet named Kevin. Day 94, we worked on the house a bit more. This included building shrubs, all that kind of good stuff. You know, the aesthetically pleasing stuff, so my house wouldn't just be a big old pile of blocks. Also, at some point, Kevin decided to get on top of my bed. I don't know what made him think that was a good idea, so I had to push him in the floor and remind him of his place here. Day 95, I went around and knocked down all these torches. I'm pretty sure that was a health hazard. I mean, my house was mostly made out of wood. I started to include some concrete, but let's be real. Eventually, one day, it's bound to catch on fire. Anyways, I put in these fancy new glowstone torch light things underneath my floor, as well as a piece of glass, so I couldn't actually touch them. You know, when a light stays on for too long, it gets a little hot to the touch. Day 96, I started working on the roof. Haha, congratulations, wall check, and it only took me 95 days. Who knows what else I can accomplish in another 95. No, I'm kidding. 96, we started working on the roof. Also, it was magical that night. It started snowing. I was kind of surprised. I'd seen snow on top of my stuff, my chest, my bed, all that kind of good jazz, but I hadn't actually seen it snow yet. Day 97 was the inaugural breaking of the Sky Island, or, you know, separating us back to being floating. Basically, I just destroyed the staircase that I built before, so that way our elevator would be the only way up and down, essentially meaning that I was the only one that could come up and down, and occasionally a good salmon breakfast or dinner. You know how that goes. I like my fish served instant. Day 98, I was still finishing the roof. I'm not gonna lie, I didn't think I was gonna have enough time with only 2 days left, and I didn't have enough wood to finish this project, but I finally got smart and planted a sapling in my front porch and started bone milling the crap out of it. Day 99, and I had to fly. I'm not gonna lie, I still had a whole lot more things I wanted to do. I didn't have my storage room done, I hadn't really set up enchanting again. You know, there's a lot of minor details to this house that weren't finished, but for the most part, we were coming to an awesome close. Day 100, finally, we made it. Also, placing my final block of my roof on day 100 just felt fitting, so I saved it specifically for this day. First off, I want to thank you all. If you've enjoyed this series or video, be sure to leave a like down below, comment in the comment section if you have a favorite day or what your favorite day was. I know I asked you at day 50, but I'm asking again. More importantly, make sure you hit that subscribe button and the bell icon that pops out afterwards. That way you can enjoy more awesome content from me later. Y'all know we're gonna have 200 days coming soon, so be sure you're here to catch it. Anyways, for day 100, I'll give you a full house tour so you can see all the hard work I did.